Hey there everybody, SpeedyTech7 here. I thought, recently I kind of just thought that I'd like to do some more videos on YouTube, and I thought why not start that out with, well, some about computers. That's basically what I'm interested in. I kind of just have an interesting one here today. It's an IBM Model 25, it's a PS2 system. It's one of the, it's one of those ones that when they first came out they had the claim no maintenance for 10 years. And well, this one has far outlasted 10 years. It's not had any maintenance as far as I'm concerned. It's the 720K drive model, and it's pretty much been going since it was the last time it was used for actual service back in 1990. It was a POS machine for a computer reclaiming company, and they used it all the way up until 2003 and then dumped it and said they wouldn't be using it anymore, and they now have an advanced POS system. But this was actually used as a terminal there. That's why it has a terminal emulation card in the back. They had an IBM mainframe that was dumped from Boeing. Well, I guess I can power it up now. I'll show you what it's capable of. Let's see if I have the right disc in. No, I do not. I'm going to have to go grab a different disc. 1 second. Well, I'm back now. I'm with floppies. This one right here, labeled Printer 1. Yeah, not actually for a printer or for WordPerfect. It is, in fact, contains a light version of FreeDOS. Because this only has a 720K drive, I need a special version that it could fit on. So we'll boot it up really quickly, and I'll show you a couple of DOS games because this thing's actually quite capable. And then after that I'll show you the startup disk it came with. You might notice that the keyboard I have in front of it is not the IBM Model M. I know, heresy. I should have it. I don't have the money to go and buy one right now. But that is going to be the next thing I acquire for this. In the meantime, I have one that looks quite similar from afar, at least. Obviously not great buckling spring technology, but just a cheap little Dell Quiet Key that does its job quietly. Okay. I hear that lovely noise. I'll do its RAM count here. And it might look a little dim, but I assure you it's actually quite bright. Oh, 640K, maximum amount. FreeDOS. And all the gobbledygook that entails. There we go. Okay, so it's at the A prompt right now. No hard drive, although I'm going to get one. The person who I acquired this computer from at the Wreckers said that they have the hard drive for this, and I was welcome to pick it up whenever, so I shall probably do that very soon. And I believe that this disc has a really fun game called Turbo on it. I'm not sure, but we'll know very quickly here. Ooh, sounds like I was right. So I'll probably move my camera in a little closer. Oh, yep, there we go, Turbo. I guess I'll play it really quickly. Move my camera in nice and close. 1 second. Okay, I've moved my camera in a little bit closer now. It may not be the clearest, but I noticed that if I turn all the lights off in the room, it certainly doesn't get any clearer. So, I am really bad at this game. That is a prerequisite, or not a prerequisite, a warning, if you will. I'm also a professional at using the wrong word at the wrong time. Okay, here. So, I get going here. Oh, gotta get over. Gear 2. Now watch the miles per hour, this is pretty hilarious. 244, I am booking. The goal is to try to stay in the right lane. And I crashed. Oh, that's that for you. Oh, whoops, I hadn't even gone there. Back into gear 1 and gear 2. Right at 111, 112 miles an hour, you have to hit gear 2, otherwise it'll just stay at that slow speed. Although 111 really isn't that slow. And it just gives you a time limit. Oh, I crashed. I'm probably not going to get any farther. Alright, game over. I think my camera came out of focus. Damn it. Good job focusing. I don't know why my camera came out of focus. Well, here we are again. You can see my score, 9190. It's not too bad. I'm gonna try playing again and just hope that my camera doesn't come out of focus. Doesn't seem to like this game too much. Oh, look at me crashing already. Looks like it's staying in focus this time. There we go. Oh no, that was just awful. I am a modern day train wreck at this game. If you could call it a train wreck. I'm playing through the camera, and that's probably leaving me just a little behind on time. There we go. I'll look at the screen now. That's probably a smarter tactic, considering the camera's behind by like 2 seconds. Oh, now there's 2 green cars. Oh, a red. See, I like these games. I like this more simple games because, I don't know, I guess they're just more fun to me. Okay. Well, I think you've seen enough of that one. Oh, look at get a high score. I did pretty poorly. Okay. So, now I am going to zoom you guys back. Or actually, no, I won't zoom you back out because, you know, there's no reason to. There's the little letter that I get whenever I exit. I kind of like this. I think it's kind of funny. It goes, feel free to distribute this program to friends, users, groups, hackers, and other things with whom you might be acquainted. This program was written entirely in assembler by Doug Ross. If you find it mildly entertaining, you're welcome to send a thank you note, or $5. The latter may entitle you to a freebie diskette copy of Spiker, a volleyball game that is being worked upon. No promises about completion dates. Send the following address. Remember to include your name and mailing address. Doug Ross, 53 Slade Street, Belmont, Massachusetts, 02178. Kind of interesting if any of you YouTubers ever send something out to him. Let me know if you get anything back. That could be interesting. I would find that very funny. Okay. I don't really want to show you guys the Ford simulator because honestly, I think B Bishop CM made a video about it, and I believe he or UXW Bill, I really don't remember which one of them did it, said it was really awful. And I think I watched the whole thing. Anyway, so I'm going to pull that diskette out and hear the lovely clunk of that drive. Let's see what else we got. I'm sure I'm going to get flamed for throwing a floppy, especially a low density one. Here's an interesting DOS game that I like called Digger, and my camera's come out of focus again, so I'm going to focus it. Okay, I'm back, and I've put another floppy in the drive, and I'm still at the A prompt from after turbo. So I am now going to enter digger.com. Oh, I think it's a .exe actually, which means I could just type digger. There it goes. Boy, is my screen looking dim. I'm gonna brighten it up a little bit. This is actually a really clear screen. I just don't want to throw the contrast out. There. Well, that might be a little bit clearer. That's pretty good for me. Okay. Demonstration copy. Instructions. Scoring. Very hard game, I assure you. Listen to that PC speaker music. It's lovely. I'm not the greatest at older games, but hey, why not? Oh, I hate that noise. I only have the first 2 levels, because unfortunately this is a demo version of the game. As you can see, the pseudo AI aren't exactly geniuses. Oh no, I got captured. Rest in peace. Hopefully my camera's still somewhat in focus. It's okay. Not the greatest. My Sony doesn't like the refresh rate of the screen, unfortunately. And here we are. I like these little guys that show up on the right here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see them too clearly. Oh yeah, it'll be fine. There they are. There's Nobbin. And 2 Nobbins combined together to create a Hobbin. And of course Digger. Gold. He's a character. And an Emerald. And a bonus, which I don't run across in the first 2 levels, unfortunately. Okay. Now I think I'm going to put in that disc I was telling you guys about. Yeah, I'm going to go put that in. Uno momento. Or actually, I'll show you the whole restart process anyway. First, I'm going to take out this floppy. And I believe it's this. It's printer 2 that has it in there. And then I'm just going to Control-Alt-Delete to restart. I always love that, because sometimes you get that noise, and that beep is designed actually to interrupt and reset. There we go. Look at that. Old IBM. Gotta love it. Works great. Looks like my camera's just a little bit off center. There. Okay. So, Personal System 2 Model 25 starter diskette. This was a pain in the butt to make this disk. And see, this computer didn't come with anything when I got it, so it was a mess finding this disk. And then having to find a computer in my house that wasn't 64-bit was, well, one with an internet connection at least was a chore. So, but I dug one up and made the diskette, and now I'm going to enter it. So there's some options here. It just gives it a little bit loadout of information. I'm going to go to the learning about your system because honestly, I know other people have made videos about checking the system and such, and it's really not that interesting. Or it's not interesting for other viewers, I guess. It's interesting for the owner. Program's loading. Please wait. Oh, look at that. IBM, learning about your system. But it's not mine. Okay. There we go. This program is a guide to get you started with your system. It's organized like a book, with chapters, glossary, and an index. And I'm too slow of a reader. There we go, program contents. I'm not going to show how to use it because it's easy. You just press page down. Anyway, I think the hardware one is the most interesting because it kind of just shows some older hardware and stuff. Come on, baby, load. And on an unrelated note, don't copy that floppy. Hardware. Da boom bang boom. System unit. Ladies and gentlemen, system unit. Keyboard and unit. They work together as a team, fighting crime wherever it may be. Okay, so it's got this little system here, showing the bottom half of the Model 25, and we have some options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, I think number 6 is the most informative of all of them, so I will push it. Power switch. This switch is used to turn the system unit on and off. But here's a little something between you and me. This diskette doesn't run on anything else. So, if you need to read this, I'm really confused on how you actually got to it. Coming back here, there are 2 floppies listed, however I have the 1 floppy model, and of course nobody ever replaced it with a 1.44 like I could just hope for. By the way, if anyone out there on the tubes has a 1.44 from another model PS2, I would be ever so grateful if you would pass it along to me. That would be that'd be great. I'd even be willing to pay for it. Only through PayPal, of course. Any whore. Let's continue on. Oh, there we go. The back. Another, again, it's more for the numbers and such. Obviously, you got your headphone jack, your 2 PS2 ports, your serial, and your parallel. Okay, now here's a little question. Which one is the serial, which one is the parallel? If you can tell me that, right or left, obviously, because that's the only way I'm going to know what you're talking about. If you can tell me that, then you are of the geek variety. Anyway. Your keyboard has 5 major areas: typing keys, computer keys, and a numeric keypad, cursor keys, and function keys. Most keys repeat when held down. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm holding it down. It didn't repeat. Anyway, I could tap each button and it will tell me a little bit about it. So for, I don't know, let's do S for Speedy Tech. You use these keys to type letters, numbers, and spaces. When shifted, a letter key types uppercase, and when a number key types a symbol that appears on that key. Try it again. Here we go. Whoa. Double whoa. Triple freaking whoa. Anyway, I'm gonna return. You hear me brutalizing this keyboard back here. That's because this keyboard does not respond on the left side all too well anymore. However, the right side's quite nice. Computer keys. Key combinations. These are some tricky ones right here. Depending on the program, Control S may control the sound. Control Alt Delete may reset the system. May reset the system. Actually, when you're in this program, Control Alt Delete does jack shit. Anyway, continuing onward. Numlock. Understand. Cursor. This one's kind of interesting. It's one of those, it lets you move it up and down and such, and then if you press page down, it shows a cursor key game, which is one of those 9 tile picture lineup things. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, not too interesting. Okay, F1 through F12 keys can perform various tasks according to the software being used. Look up your manual, blah blah blah. the display. Now this part's very interesting because the display is what you're looking at. Anyway, the display communicates with you by printing messages on the display. Really? The brightness and contrast controls can be used to adjust the display. Well, that's quite informative, and frankly, if I didn't have that message, I would not know what to do. Anyway, those of you who don't understand my sarcasm will leave me notes saying, this was intended for a new user back in the time when this machine was made. I'm well aware of that. I like being a jackass. Anyway, raise the rear of the system unit, and well, right now I have it reclined all the way because it works well with the angle I have my tripod at. Anyway, continuing onward. Inside the system unit, this part's kind of cool. I like the little pictures, and I've always kind of, I don't know, for the longest time all I had was a Windows 98 laptop when I was a little kid up until, well, at least 4 years ago. All I had was my old Windows 98 laptop, and it had all those pictures from the theme inside the computer. Thumbs up if you remember that. It was one of my favorites. I loved it. Although it made the poor thing lag like a beast because it was a Pentium 133. Anyway, I always liked these pictures. It kind of made me imagine of opening up a computer one day, and, well, what do you know, I do that now. The information control center of the system is the microprocessor. Huh, if microprocessor still looked like that. Microprocessor carries out instructions and processes information stored in the memory. How interesting. Hey, look, a capacitor. Oh, wait, no, that's not a capacitor. Maybe a resistor. I don't know what that is on the right and the red. Anyway, we'll know. I'm sure somebody will tell me. Inside the system are two types of memory, ROM and RAM, and are stored on chips. Read-only memory contains the built-in instructions that direct the operation of the system. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And this machine, actually, if you don't put a floppy in it, does this entertaining little animation of someone putting a floppy into it. And basically, just if you press F1 there without putting a floppy in, it goes into BASIC. It's got the built-in BASIC language. Very interesting. Anyway, continuing onward. Random access memory is a system's workplace. It stores programmed data for processing. I think we're about to get to an interesting little visualization of how the computer works. Diskette drives. This is inside a diskette drive, although it looks more like the inside of a briefcase. Okay, diskette drives use removable diskettes to save and retrieve information. Speaking of retrieving, I'm going to let you look at this lovely image right here while I get something to drink because I'm very thirsty. Now that my thirst is being quenched, we shall continue forward. First, the microprocessor reads the instructions from the ROM. These instructions tell the microprocessor how to retrieve information from the diskettes. Very interesting. Next, a copy of the information from the diskette is stored in the RAM. Then the microprocessor takes the information from the RAM and displays it on the screen. Oh, interesting text. Now here is it all together, and I won't yap over the little beeps because I know people love that. But would I love to be there right now? Although it's pretty nice right here. I'm burning in my own kitchen. Anyway, continuing. Don't think there's too much more. I think it's going to give you a little do's and don'ts about floppies. Oh yeah, here we go. Don't store it in the sunlight. Don't crack it. Don't break it. Don't throw it against the wall in an angry fit of rage because it lost your files. Anyway. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Don't forget to slide those. You'll lose your information. Very important. Continuing. Don't forget to label them. I always forget to label my discs. I pretty much just kind of know what they are by the little idiosyncrasies they have. Never bend or place heavy objects. They'll crack. Look at that. It's cracking. Never pull back the metal shutter. Aren't CGA graphics amazing? Oh, just don't put it next to magnets. That's rule number one. Even those really lazy refrigerator magnets that you think couldn't do a thing, so you set it on top of it because it looks nicer than the floppy itself. Don't do it. I've done it. Blank diskettes must be formatted. Yeah, there's no image for that one. Oh, it put it in. That was pretty cool. And then push the thing to get it out. Ow. That was loud. I think it does that again. Can you imagine if every time it actually read the diskette it made that noise? Just about die. And you can add options like expansion cards and peripherals. Look at that, I want one of those. I want that fax modem. Model 25 can be customized further using 2 expansion slots. Right now I have a terminal emulation card in there, but I have a Sound Blaster 16. Oops, I bumped the camera. I have a Sound Blaster 16 that I hope to place in there real soon. There we go. Oh, look at that. That looks like a nice old card. I'd love to have one of those, but good luck trying to fit one in there because that card right there is longer than the slot. Or longer than the space allotted to the slot, I guess. I have that card in there, but it's actually in the top slot. Anyway, network adapter allows your system to connect to a local area network and share databases and printers. How interesting, anyway. Internal expansion cards. Looks like a weird looking printer with a circuit board feeding tray, right? No, it's not really. It's just the computer on its face with its back opened up. Consult IBM about adding more options and getting some real IBM certified parts. And something about adding options, something else about adding options. Pointing device. A mouse is a pointing device. It moves the cursor on the screen as you slide the mouse on either your desk or a flat surface. Using the buttons on the mouse, you can quickly and easily select menu options. Oh yeah, that mouse is behind it. Oh, this is my favorite. I'm a big fan of drawing stuff, especially square doors perfectly. Mouse activities and capabilities can change depending on the program that you're using. Unfortunately, this model didn't even come with a mouse because the only way you could get it with a mouse is if you bought it with an operating system that supported one, and there were none at the time, although OS 2 was in development, I believe. I'm sure somebody will try to correct me on that. Hardware, and this is the summary, and that means end. Oh, I pressed ESC, I didn't want to repeat chapter 2. There we go. It's going to take me back to the main menu. Anyway, that's just some interesting information about the computer. I think the computer's pretty cool. I don't have too much of a big use for it, but I enjoy playing some DOS games that I found on the internet. Okay. Hey, if anybody knows of some software out there for this that could be interesting, it has a Intel 8086 processor in it, so nothing that requires VGA graphics or a 386 or 286 processor. But if anybody knows anything that will run on this that would be interesting, send me a link to it. Send me a link to your Dropbox with it. I'll put it on a floppy. I got tons of 720K floppies laying around. I'll put it on a floppy and I'll make a video of it. I'll even mention your name if you want. Yeah. That is about it. I might open up the computer. I don't think I want to do that tonight. It's getting a little late and I'm quite tired. But I will really quickly do a 360 of the computer just so you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to eject the floppy. I wish there was a better way to shut this down. I feel bad doing that. Okay. Unplug it. So there's one side. It's got kind of a slanty look to it, and here's the pivot, or not pivot, kickstand. Oh, here. You can probably see the back now. There's the terminal emulation. There are, well, actually for the contest here of who can tell me what it is, there are, not in any specific order, serial and parallel ports. And of course the two PS2s and a lovely quarter audio jack. And right now I can hear my camera focusing. It sounds quite strange. I'll give you a clearer view if that makes it any better. Here's the other side. Oh, there it goes back into focus. Doing a lot of refocusing there. There we go. And the front. And perhaps, I don't know, maybe somebody's interested in the underside. Not too much here. Just some vents for the monitor, the two brightness and contrast, and lovely power switch. And this thing, you might think it's loose, right? No, this actually stands, and when you pivot, or when you tilt, this goes with it to stay on the ground. And for some reason it has something threaded right here. It has 3 threads. I'm not quite sure what those are for. And here's our stand. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Here, push her back a little bit. There we go. Bottom, up 1, up 2, up all the way, and back down. Okay, well, that is the IBM PS2 Model 25. I love it. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. For now, it's going to sit on my desk and be probably what I type my reports and papers up for when the school year happens again. Because, I don't know, I have super ADD, and I kind of like something that makes it really hard for me to do anything else on. Okay. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.